Today we are looking at integers, negative numbers. We're looking at integers or negative numbers. So we're going to start with a number line, which you guys are familiar with. Generally, we have a number line, we put 0 in the middle. Negative numbers always fall to the left of our 0. Positive numbers always fall to the right of our 0. Negative numbers are the opposites of positive numbers. Remember, we defined integers as all whole numbers and their opposites. So we have 4 and negative 4. Those are opposites. 1, negative 1. Those are opposites. So until we get into decimals and fractions, we're dealing with all numbers that are classified as integers. So I know you have plotted numbers before. This is not any different. You are just finding 0 and going, okay, if it's this way, it is a negative number. If it's to the left, it's a negative number. If it's to the right, it is a positive number. So we're going to identify some numbers on a number line. And you'll notice the numbers aren't all given there. So we need to make sure that figure out what unit increment these hash marks go up in. 0, 1, it's going to be negative 1 because it's to the left. Negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Alright, so we know they go by units of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can fill those all in, or you don't have to. It is entirely up to you. But I'm going to find 10. Point G is negative 10. The opposite of negative 10 would be positive 10. Now, pause the video and try to fill out the rest of this grid real quickly. Okay. Point T is negative 9. The opposite of negative 9 is positive 9. Point Y is negative 6. Notice it's one place beyond the negative 5. The opposite is positive 6. Point B, we marked that as negative 2, so the opposite is going to be positive 2. M is positive 1. So the opposite is negative 1. P is positive 5. The opposite is negative 5. Looks like I did P twice, so let's change that to, let's mark that out and put W there. D is positive 6. The opposite would be negative 6. W is 2 away from 10, 2 less than 10, which makes it 8. The opposite is negative 8. Okay? So hopefully you did well on that. We're going to look at some words and phrases that mean positive and negative. Because in word problems, it is important to understand what kinds of words might be telling you, hey, we're using positive numbers, hey, we're using negative numbers. So, positive. Plus. Added. Okay, above is often a positive word. See if you can come up with some others that might mean positive, and we'll talk about them in class if you have done this ahead of time. Okay, words or phrases that might mean negative. Minus. And a lot of times these words are going to be opposite kinds of words. Subtracted or taken away. Below. Now, one of the situations that word problems really like to deal with for positives and negatives, when we're talking about sea level. Okay? When we're talking about sea level, they really like to do that. If it's above sea level, then it is a positive. If it's below sea level, it's negative. So what they'll do is say the diver dove 12 feet. If they dove 12 feet, that is probably a negative. If they rose 12 feet, that's probably a positive. Football is another good positive negative. They lost yards. They gained yards. So those are some good words. It's not an exhaustive list by any stretch, but those are some good words to look for when we have word problems dealing with positives and negatives. And we'll do a lot of practice with those as well.